reason I'm in Cardiff is I've set up an exhibition. It's the second time that this work's been on display. It's called All the King's Men. It started a tour of the UK and this is its first venue on the tour. And I think why Cardiff? Partly because of the link to my past, and yeah, I just fancied coming to Cardiff. I was just inspired to get started, and and how did I begin this particular subject, maybe you want to know. That's quite an interesting story because I had photographed children and families. I'd worked for charities at home and abroad. I'd done a lot of work with people, but I'd never really actually photographed men, particularly within my portraits series. And I just realised actually that I was quite shy of men. So I got started on photographing men and discovered actually that I could do that, and it was quite a powerful thing. It started with this friend of mine suggesting I photograph some men, and I thought he was just having a laugh really. I just thought, why would I want to go and photograph men? Well, I realised that I quite enjoyed that, and approached a couple of people who I know quite well, friends and colleagues who I admire for lots of reasons, both in personality, nice faces. Thought they had an interesting life, interesting story to their life, I guess. They run quite deep, and that's true of all the men in the series. Everybody went in the project. In fact, that's something that I realised as I was working on this that I would never do. I wouldn't leave anyone out. If I'm going to actually approach someone and photograph them, it's up to me to make it work, and it's going to be a good image. Well, I think I have got a favourite in the series actually, and I would say that's John Park. The reason is because the portrait I've ended up with of him, because I actually did 3 sessions with John Park, and I got so many different expressions, and he is a very complex individual. He doesn't very often smile, and so I didn't think a smiling one was actually appropriate for this at all, and I ended up choosing this really quite grim expression, but it was partly the weather. Actually, the particular character, interestingly, that I used this light for, and that I used no background, it was like a studio background, his work environment was quite difficult because he works in a building site most of the time. So I guess I couldn't really dream up a nice environment for him. So it seemed to make sense to have a plain environment. Yeah, I mean, the most famous face I have so far as part of All the King's Men is Sir Roy Strong. And I was very excited actually when he agreed to be part of this. Quite lucky, I think, I felt. The one that's in the exhibition is the one that I had hoped to get, with his very white hair set against the dark topiary of his gardens.